Hello everyone and welcome back to World of Warcraft The Burning Crusade Classic. Robert Rambles here and thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to investigate this mine today. Picked up this quest the other day on my way back from a dungeon run. You can see that we are almost level 61. Done a couple dungeon runs that I have not recorded just to gain a level. So let's take a look. The mine's been overrun by a plague of Gangarg misfits. Not only did they run all of my workers out of the tunnels, but they're pounding away in there day and night. To make things worse, now I've got Denath on me back. He says he's going to take away me ale ration if I don't get this taken care of soon. None of the miners will go in there, and the guards are busy drinking themselves silly. I'm begging you, help me here. Denath can take my dignity, but he'll never take my ale. I have a pet peeve about cheesy accents being written into text poorly. And yeah, like, don't make me read your poorly written fake accent. If you're not gonna voice act it, just give me the human text. Just the words that I can read without having to pause wondering what the cadence of the sentence is supposed to be like. What do we have in here? Maiden of Pain, okay. Perhaps we should get some buffs going, might be a good idea. Well, we're not going to grab that one, because somewhere right here there's a hunter. So let's just have a little look around, shall we? Yeah, I'm doing this quest because a lot of the other quests that we have are basically parallels to Horde quests that I've done a million times. And I'm finding the quest that I've done a million times incredibly boring, if you can believe that. I know, it's hard to believe. I played in the Burning Crusade originally when I was in my 20s. So it's not like those memories didn't stick. I still have a lot of muscle memory for these quests that are shared between Horde and Alliance because I leveled a lot of characters through Outland in my 20s. And I'm kind of finding Hellfire really boring. I'm hoping to get level 61, maybe get to level 62 by grinding dungeons, and then head into Zangarmarsh, or I'm hoping things will be a little bit more interesting. Is this as far as the cave goes? Really? This is it? Alright. Okay. That's incredibly underwhelming. What about this? No, nothing down there. Okay, so like every other area, it doesn't extend very far, and it's farmed out. What a surprise. I'm really understanding why people are leveling in dungeons. It's a smoother experience, otherwise you spend a lot of time running in circles like this. Like, hoping that you can get a tag off on somebody before it's tagged by another player. Eventually that won't be as big of a problem, but it will be a bigger problem than it ever was in vanilla, because in vanilla you had a lot of different zones that you could level in for any level bracket. So, you know, if you're level 20 to 25, you have like 3 or 4 zones across the world that you could go to. And you're just not going to run into the same kind of player congestion as opposed to when you're going from one zone to the next, and everybody is following that same path. So it might, on high population realms, it might always be a little congested out in the world. And it's like, after a point, you know, I want to be playing my character. I want to be casting abilities. I don't want to be running around in circles waiting to tag something that's respawning. That's not immersive gameplay. It's not very enjoyable. It's part and parcel of what an MMO is, I suppose. But it's been done differently and better. And since I've had this experience, and since it's all still, like, pretty ripe in my mind, like, things I didn't think I would remember, I recall once I get to them. Like the demon portals. And speaking of the demon portals, one of you guys let me know that there are portals for the Horde and portals for the Alliance, and the portals that I was trying to disrupt before were the portals for the Horde. But the quest doesn't really say that. The quest doesn't say that there are 4 portals, 2 of them are for you and 2 of them are for the other faction. Find the right ones. It just tells you to go close the portals. And as you guys might have saw, we had no luck because we were trying to close the Horde portals. Haven't found the Alliance portals yet, but I haven't had the will to make my way back out there yet. Oh look, another lost opportunity. And so yeah, my plan right now is to do a few things here in Hellfire that are new to me, like this quest here. And besides that, to grind out to level 61 or 62 doing the dungeons we can get into, and then head into Zengermarsh and see if the questing there is less congested and possibly more interesting to me than the things that we've been doing in Hellfire so far. Okay. So I'd like to tag one of these. It's been 5 minutes, and we've yet to secure a tag on anything. That's kind of pathetic, I guess. We're supposed to kill 12 of these guys. This will be number 2. Another thing I'm realizing is that, like, in vanilla, there were so many zones, especially on the Alliance side, that I had never quested in, places that I had never seen. And so, even though it was a game that I had played, there was so much that was new to me. And in the Burning Crusade, it's not new, and there aren't any zones that I didn't quest in. I guess the only exception to that might be Blade's Edge. I don't remember a lot of Blade's Edge, but I don't know if there's actually a lot to do there. All the other zones, Nagrand, Zengermarsh, Terakar, Shadow Moon, yeah, I've quested in those zones quite a bit. During Wrath of the Lich King, I had basically no life, and I had a level 80 of almost every class. And to do that, you had to quest through Outlands then. There were no boosts, there was no skipping it. You just had to quest through the content, so I've been through the content. And I'm kind of realizing that where vanilla had a lot that was new and exciting, Burning Crusade might not. Outside of the raids, what I'm really excited for is to get into the raids, because that's content that I've never seen. All the heroic dungeons, the 5-man stuff, I've seen those so many times, and they're all good. And I'm looking forward to doing those heroic dungeons. But what I'm actually excited about on this character is just getting into the raiding. Ultimately, I love the lore of World of Warcraft, but when it comes to storytelling, you know, boots on the ground, following your character and support cast storytelling, Blizzard's not good at it, and they never have been good at it. They're good at world building and just the broad strokes of creating a universe, and they're able to make that stuff really interesting, whereas the boots on the ground questing and storytelling and narrative is absolutely not. Every once in a while you'll get an interesting little snippet from a quest if you're reading them, but there's a reason why the majority of the player base simply does not read quest text. And it's not because they're lazy. It really isn't. I don't even think we need this Maiden of Pain for anything, but let's take her out anyway. She is in the way. And I'm kind of wondering if like other people are having a similar experience with TBC as I am, where they kind of get in here and they realize like they have all these memories already, and the memories are still relatively fresh as far as memories go, and maybe they're thinking like, is it an experience that I really need to have again? Some attack power legs, male. Well, I tried to invite both of them to a group. It doesn't seem like that's gonna work. Well, hello there, Respawn. How are you doing? Maybe he was stealth. Do these guys stealth? Maybe he wasn't a Respawn. They're sappers, so maybe they're like rogues. No reason not to fear these guys, since there's not enough things alive in here to worry about pulling too many extras. Maybe I spoke too soon. No, I didn't. Somebody pulled the one off of us that we actually needed and wanted for the quest, and now we'll deal with the two that we don't need. Oh, we did get some decent level 61 gloves from, I think this was from Blood Furnace. 10 stamina, 20 int, 12 spirit, and I bought a couple of cheap gems to drop into those as soon as we can equip them. Which, we know, will hit level 61 if we ever are able to complete this quest. I thought this was going to be something new and different to do. It turns out it was just kind of a boring little hole where they spawn 15 enemies that you have to vie for with other players. Not very interesting. I'm just going to pull this other one now, because if I don't do that, we are going to be running around in circles for a while, waiting and waiting. Rather not have to fight any more unnecessary enemies, so I'm gonna pull way back here. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, good. The cave is only about 100 yards deep, but apparently it is possible to drop aggro on an enemy in here. And that guy didn't pull that succubus at all. Let's see if we can sneak by. We did. Alright, here's our second chance to get this guy. And with that, we're gonna get out of here.
How are you?
Those infernal Gnarg keep scurrying into the mine. For each one you kill, 2 or 3 more seem to take its place. There's got to be someone down there in the deepest reaches of the mine directing the incursion. You seemed to do well against them last time, and Light knows you're the only one brave enough to venture back into the mine. Find out who's responsible for this disturbance and make him pay.
Off with you.
Yeah, we're the only one brave enough, except for every other player who goes in here who we have to fight with to get enemies. So this is just sending us back to kill the name guy who we've already killed a handful of times. And so yeah, we'll just hang out here for a minute, and I'm sure any second now he'll spawn on top of us. At least I hope so. Alright, done and done. Let's get out of here, and I hope that we never have to come back. I am not planning to fight them. We are going to run in a straight line until they drop off of us.
What's on your mind?
I'm glad you managed to take care of what did you say he called himself? Zakral? How would we know? How would we know what he called himself? What, are we literally reading the name above his head? Did we ask him what his name was before we killed him? We would not know what his name is. Give me a break. From your description, it sounds like more an it than a him, but all that matters is it's dead. Yeah, that is basically all that matters. We are going to equip this.
Watch your back.
Whoops. Oh, and we are level 61 now, so we can equip the surgeon's mitts. Let's do that. Let's equip the belt. And let's see if I remember how to socket things. There we go. We're gonna get a huge 3 spirit bonus. It's not huge. But it feels good to see it light up, so we'll socket that. There we go. Okay, what to do next? We could do the Avenging Spirits quest. I think that's somewhere over here at the Gorgas outpost. Let's head over there and take a look. For this one, I think that we are dropping a totem. No, we're dropping an anchorite relic. So we should put this somewhere that we can click. Do we need to investigate this downed airship? Or is this a horde thing? This might be a horde thing, or maybe it's nothing. It's a Zeppelin. Okay, there are quests here. Discovered the Zeppelin crash. Do we want to see what's going on here? These are definitely quests that I've done before because they're being given by goblins.
What's up?
Which means they're cross-faction Ravager Egg Roundup. I'm starving. There's irony in that, wouldn't you say? A starving cook? According to this tourist map we were following before we... Wait, a tourist map? Before we were so rudely shot down, there's an area to the southwest near Terrakar Forest. It's called the Razorthorn Trail. Supposedly it's brimming with delicious Ravager eggs.
Glad I could help. Time is money, friend.
In case of emergency. In the event of an emergency, it's always the pilot's job to keep a level head, especially when the only orders your co-pilot follows come from his stomach. The good news is that we won't need to wait days for replacement parts to be imported. The bad news is the spare parts got scattered from here to the Valley of Bones. So, Ravager eggs, spare parts. Not sure where the Valley of Bones is, but could be anywhere. Alright, we're going to continue over into This orc area. Gorgas outpost. And we'll say piss off to another boar that we don't need. Oh good, it's a cast bar that they can interrupt. That's awesome. I love that. Oh, the boar is still here. No, the boar gave up. He just wanted to say hi. Okay, so we have to kill them, and then we have to also fight their spirit, which has the same amount of health as they had. So we have to fight 20 enemies to complete this quest. That's what you're telling me. It feels bad to have to, like, kill 20 enemies for, like, basically a nothing quest. And that's it, yeah, we literally just have to fight them, and then we have to fight them again. How exciting is that? Okay. And the thing about this quest is, like, I don't really think anything about it is very interesting. The setup and the story behind it are not interesting. The area that we're fighting in is not interesting, and the enemies don't do anything interesting. It's... it's kind of crazy. Oh good, and this has such a long cooldown that we actually have to make sure that we pull back to it. So... oh yeah, that's great. Let's just have to pull back to it for 2 minutes. Yeah, if you don't see this little beam, it's not going to do what it needs to do for you to get credit for the quest. It's really weird because throughout a lot of vanilla, especially at post level 30, I kind of had the feeling like, you know, I would like to have more to do in a smaller area. And then in BC, they kind of give you that. They give you a lot to do in a smaller area. But the things that they're having you do are not interesting. And Hellfire Peninsula itself, just like once you've seen it, the best thing about it is the skybox. I mean, the rest of it just looks like the Blasted Lands. There's nothing really visually distinct about it. Except for the skybox. Which, a lot of the time, you're not looking at. You're not interacting with the skybox, you're interacting with the landscape and the world. And so far, we haven't really seen anything interesting in Hellfire. And from my memory, I'm not convinced that there is a lot that's interesting here. And yeah, we are going to have to kill a bunch more of these guys. This doesn't seem like something that's incredibly interesting, and if I'm not interested while doing it, then I'm kind of doubting if it's very interesting to watch. Oh, this is great. So here we have to fight 4 guys. Because of how that pulled. We'll do this pull just to see if we can survive it. Which is going to be questionable whether or not we can. Did this one not spawn a spirit? Okay, our stone despawned mid-kill, so we didn't get a spirit for that one. It's up in the air who's gonna get credit for this one. I guess whoever tags the spirit first will get credit for the kill. Whether it's me or this druid, we'll find out. But this guy we killed was pointless because our stone had despawned, he didn't spawn a spirit. Okay, let's at least get this one. Yeah, guys, I'm really thinking about spamming dungeon runs to get to level 70 to actually do the content that I think I'm going to find interesting, which is going to be the heroic dungeons and the raiding. My experience with questing so far, maybe because it's all still in my memory as something that I've already experienced, my experience questing in TBC Classic has not really been fun. I haven't really been enjoying it. I'm sure that kind of comes through. Even when I'm not blatantly talking about it like I have been today. I'm sure that has been coming across a little bit. So I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts. What I think I want to do is go a little ways into Zangarmarsh before I really make a final decision about how I'm going to level up the character. But my experiences here so far, and how I feel about how the quests are going, and the kinds of things that we are having to do for these quests, I'm thinking that I'm going to have a lot more enjoyable of a time just finding groups of people and doing the 5-man content that I know I like. It's more interesting. You get to play with other people that are actually like formed up for a purpose. And, you know, every once in a while things go crazy and that's exciting too. This, on the other hand, really isn't. I like the thing that's happening with our Archerite stones here. That's pretty interesting. Not really sure what to make of it. We killed this other guy apparently too far away for him to spawn a spirit. So not only did we have to kill 20 at the onset, but we're making small mistakes that are causing us to have to just kill more and more of these guys. When that's already something that's not interesting, that just kind of makes it worse. I'm glad we can still fear their spirits. That makes sense. I'm not going to argue. It helps. Yeah, I mean, I could kill 15 more guys right here by this tower, but I'm gonna leave it here for today, and I will try to finish this quest up on my own. You guys let me know what you think. Do you want to see some of the Zangarmarsh? Would you be interested in seeing dungeon runs, even the ones we've already completed, Ramparts and Blood Furnace? Those videos are up. Would it be interesting to see different runs of those same dungeons? Obviously every group is dynamic, different things happen in every group. You can get some interesting people in your group, as I've already seen. So if that's interesting to you guys, I could do that. Or we could just kind of check out a few quests in each zone. But I think at this point I'm not enjoying Hellfire. I know that I at least am going to skip probably as much of Hellfire as I can. And sorry if that upsets anybody, but I think it's better in this case just to be honest with yourself when you're not really enjoying something as much as you want to. And instead of just kind of like holding out for that feeling to change, just to act on it and to figure out a plan that's going to work best for us. So yeah, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think. As always, I do really appreciate you all being here with me today. That does mean a lot to me. So take care of yourselves out there and take care of each other. And we will see you back somewhere in Outlands sometime soon. Bye now.